What up, everybody? Welcome back to iRacing, and today we are going to make a third attempt at the BMW M Power Challenge, which is the M2, and it's at the Monza Combined. And this time we have a field that is partially full of friends.
Just so everyone knows, I lift off really early into the first chicane, so on the first lap, just be aware.
And
Run you over? Basically.
so I qualified in P2.
Watch out for Brian, though.
My buddy Jesse qualified in P3.
So around the 300 board or 200?
We also have Chris, Quick Shift Racing, and Michael Romero in this race.
At about 300 just to be
and I think we have a couple of others that we know. But anyways, this is a 15-minute race, and if you do find yourself enjoying this, I would appreciate if you'd hit the like button. And if you have not yet subscribed, I would appreciate it if you would consider subscribing as well. And like I said, we qualified in P2. Jesse is in P3. And the others are a little further back. But we are going to be taking the green flag here in just a moment. And I came into this basically just hoping for a clean race. And we have taken the green flag. And I would like to use the TV view, but the TV cameras on this track are horrible. Half the time it's behind trees and you can't see anything, so I'm going to be using the far chase camera. But I'm going to kind of be talking about some things that are happening behind me as I remember. So that's Jesse that is directly behind me. And I get a bit of a run because of the draft, and I think about going for it, but I know that I don't really have enough to get by before we come off of the ovals. And as you come off the ovals into the road course here in just a second, there's a nasty little bump on the right there. Discovered it yesterday. And we have this car here that is coming up super fast, and I don't know exactly who that is, but Jesse follows suit. But I see this guy coming up from out of nowhere, so I let off a little bit early just to make sure that I don't get taken out by him. And as you can see, I get a bit of a run off of him coming off the first chicane, and we're going to be racing here to the second chicane, and thankfully he backs out right here. Having raced this tracking car a couple of other times already, I knew that where I needed to brake at, so I was able to out brake him going into that chicane. And so at this point we have a fairly clear P4 currently going. But as you know, the tires on this car are pretty horrible for the first lap or two. So I am kind of fighting it a little bit. But we're going to be getting up on Jesse here coming through turns 10, 11, and 12. And get a little bit of a run coming into the final corner. Turn 13. And my main goal for this particular race was watching Jesse's stream, and he made a comment about how I needed to get some redemption for this race, and I told him I would only do it if he jumped into the race session as well, and he agreed. So at this point we've completed the first lap, and at least for myself I have made it through the first lap clean. And it looks like the relative is not working, so I'm going to hide that. Like I said, this is a 15-minute race. Because it's a 3-minute, a little over a 3-minute lap time, we're looking at 5 laps. And at this point, the top 3 have gotten away from me a little bit. Excuse me. But one thing I noticed is the leader was braking much earlier than really needed. And so going into these corners, I was able to make up a lot of ground. And so at this point, there's a really good battle going on up front. There's also a couple of cars, well, one car in particular, that is right on my rear. There you see him. So we've got, excuse me, we've got basically a 5-car battle going on here for the lead. And once again, and I think it was mainly just Jesse being cautious with the other cars in front of him, but he was braking quite a bit earlier than what I was expecting. So again, was making up a ton of ground on the approach to the corners. Here again. And you see Ryan here's got a bit of a a run on me, and instead of passing, he is bump drafting and then backs off in anticipation of the braking zone. And so we're going to start lap number 3. And again, got a little bit of a run on me. And he ducked on the inside. I wasn't about to fight it. Again, I've had a miserable weekend with iRating and safety rating, especially in this race. So was not about to block him and risk getting losing more safety and iRating. But so coming into this turn here, he gets really squirrely and goes over that little bump, and it freaked me out. I thought he was coming across and gonna take me out, so I went into the grass as a way of hopefully surviving, and as you see, I did. My crew chief said that he needed to pit for repairs, but he actually never did. So I think he had a meatball, but he never pitted for said meatball. But he still had pretty decent pace, as he was able to keep up with our pack here. And you have to be very careful with these cars, even after the tires get warmed up. Not braking early enough or not braking properly will severely cause the car to severely push. But so far everyone is doing all right, except for right there. I made a slight mistake and allowed the car to push on me. But we're still running in fourth. At this point, I was thinking that Ryan, the car directly behind me, was going to be pitting because, again, my crew chief said that he needed to pit for repairs. He was missing his front clip. So I figured he would drop in and take those repairs, but he did not. So this is the start of lap number 4. We're going to have one more after this lap. There was a couple of times that I nearly lost it in this particular corner. But again, we got into the
That's a risky bottom right.
the little bounce. And I had a run here. I had a big run, and I didn't want to send it into this very slow corner. My fear was that I would end up overshooting the corner and take everybody out. So I backed out. There were some other corners that I was looking to potentially make the pass on, and that was not the corner. And once again, you notice that I am really closing in on Jesse, and I think the other car is Nicholas. And it's primarily because Nicholas is braking much earlier than what I wanted to brake. And that is going to become very evident here at the next braking zone. You'll notice that Jesse in particular brakes quite early. And I normally brake at that little access road. And because of that, I thought for sure I was going to get into Jesse. I managed to not get into him and not completely overslide the corner. But I did get loose coming out of it, and that allowed Jesse to get away from me a bit. And then coming into this corner, I made another mistake and ended up drifting out and not holding the inside, which allowed Ryan to get a run on me coming to the line to take the white flag. But you're going to notice here that his lack of a front clip ended up hurting him as we go into the oval bankment or oval banking. You can see that I ended up just pulling away from him, and once I was clear, I kind of drifted back down to get the desired line. And if you look ahead, you can see that Jesse actually had a good run. And I was wishing that I was up there to help him, because I would have absolutely helped push Jesse not only to the front, but to hopefully a bigger lead.
Thanks for the push.
But I was just not there to do it. And then you're going to notice here in a second that Ryan kind of missed his braking point trying to get by me. As you're going to see here, he's going to not only go past me, but he's going to slide right on through the corner, which when I saw the run that he had, I knew this was going to happen. He got a slowdown out of it. That's what allows me to get back by him. And again, this is the white flag lap. I almost overshot the corner there. And Jesse kind of got off in the grass. I don't know if he was reading chat or what happened there. But anyways, we're coming into turn 9, I think it is. Yeah, turn 9. And then we're going to have the turn 10, 11, 12 chicane and finish. So anyways, if that's going to do it for this one. If you guys did find yourself enjoying this, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. If you have not yet subscribed, I would appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel, as well as I again missed the Apex, but it ended up not costing me. And we're coming to the final corner and going to come home in P3, which is far and away the best outcome that I have had this weekend in this series. So I will gladly take it, even though I did qualify in P2. But anyways, I will talk to you all next time.
Good race, Nicholas.